hold it. They blew up. Wait a minute.
The fourth GOP presidential debate just wrapped up on Fox Business Network. Now, the debate focused on economic and fiscal issues, which is right in the streets' wheelhouse. We've been covering the debate throughout the night. Let's bring you into our war room where our editors and reporters have been working tirelessly. Let's get some reaction from everyone. Lori, we'll start with you. What did you think?
Oh my God, I think I'm actually going to say this out loud. I think Rubio did pretty well, but I'll tell you this, Cruz did not do well.
Did not do well. All right, let's get to Jeremy, our contributors editor. Jeremy, who do you think won?
I think the winner in this debate was Fox Business News, actually. Some of the candidates did quite well, but as you can see from the post-debate coverage, they were very, very happy with Fox Business. Fox Business, I think, did just enough to make it seem substantive without really challenging the debate, challenging the candidates on a lot of issues. So I think tomorrow when people talk about this, Fox Business will definitely be a headline. All
right, let's move on to our editor-in-chief. Jeff, your thoughts?
I actually thought Rand Paul had probably the best night he's had in a while. He was consistent philosophically, and philosophy played a big part in this debate, as did Welders. And he sort of was more grounded in reality than I think than any of the others. So I would give it to Paul.
And on the structure of the debate, what did you think there?
From the very start, it was going to be well structured. Everybody, it was sort of a love-in between the candidates and the moderators. So you knew you knew going in that was going to happen. So it was fine.
All right, Leon, what did you think?
No, I'd have to say, beside it always being an entertaining event, it was either Rand Paul or John Kasich, insofar as they at least said some things that were somewhat grounded. Otherwise, you're getting just a lot of boilerplate and a lot of the same old kinds of digs at Hillary Clinton, which after a while gets a little tiring if you're actually trying to learn something about these candidates. But Fox Business, they did what they did, and they do that well. They're certainly going to be open to criticisms that they were obsequious, which they were, and they didn't really check or try to come back at candidates for the kinds of things that they said. But they're fine with that. They want to appeal to a particular base of the Republican Party, and they probably will win some viewers because of that.
All right, let's move on down over here. Brian Sazi, what did you think?
Well, I'll take the flip side. I think the losers here were the Federal Reserve. All candidates came out, whether on the undercard or in the main debate. They want to audit the Fed, which is a very dangerous decision as they seek to raise interest rates over the next 2 to 3 years. And Donald Trump, he's really moderated his tough talk. I think he's fallen in line with the traditional role of a politician, and he's kind of getting lost in the shuffle.
All right, move on to Adam. Any thoughts?
I would say that Hillary Clinton won because all of these candidates perceive her as this international threat. And, her policies are sort of the end of days. And I think that, she can just sit back and just let them keep talking and talking and talking, and she's going to wind up coming out victorious.
All right, in Carleton, you cover banks for The Street. A lot of discussion on how the candidates would deal with bank failures.
Yeah, it was kind of interesting to hear and kind of upsetting too, because you realize how little our nation's leaders know about banking and the financial services industry. So you have Ted Cruz saying that he would let Bank of America fail. What would that do for consumers? What would that do for mortgages, for small businesses, things like that? The only person who said anything substantive about banking was Kasich, who I believe at one point was a managing director with Lehman Brothers. We'll ignore that fact for a moment, but and he got shushed right when he was actually making a point about capital requirements.
James, our banking editor, any other thoughts on the banks?
Like Carlton, I was very intrigued by what Kasich and Cruz had to say about the too big to fail doctrine and how they would have responded to the financial crisis. Letting the big banks fail always seemed like a non-starter to me because of what it would do to average people trying to get their money and bring back breadlines reminiscent of the Great Depression.
And also Ben Carson seemed to have stumbled on the whole issue, right?
Several of them seemed to be not as knowledgeable as you would like, given that they're seeking the office of president.
All right, let's move over to James Passery. James, who did you think won the debate?
I think a big winner of this debate would be any illegal immigrants living in the United States. It seemed to me that the crowd really softened on Trump's stance to deport millions of illegal immigrants. A lot of people call the plan silly. And I think Republicans are starting to come around to the idea that you're going to have to adopt some form of amnesty for the millions of illegals living. But of the candidates, I think Rubio was the strongest. He came across to me as having a really coherent plan to appeal, get rid of Obamacare and reform higher education, which is a topic I haven't heard in any of the previous debates. So just to me, my gut reaction is Rubio won.
All right, that's it for us. Check back on TheStreet.com for more analysis of the debates.